Thanks. Yeah. Let me just open up with a few comments, then you can ask Wendell, if you would like to ask Wendell questions. We knew one, I'd like to thank Boston College for the honor. They give a donation for the Emily Krzyzewski Center. We have a center in Durham that services 2,000 kids, named after my mom, 17 years old, and it's doing magnificent things. And a couple of the schools have honored, and there's no better way. So, thank you. And it goes back to helping low-income kids in Durham, and it's done. We're very proud of what it's done. For the game, it's a real quick turnaround for us, and we knew that they would be ready, and there'd be a big crowd, and they're a very physical, athletic team, and Earl's done a very good job of setting things up for him. I think he may have found something more today with that smaller lineup and having all the guards, the perimeter people in there. It's a pretty good look for them, and tougher to defend. And we knew we'd have a tough time, and we did. I thought the end of the first half, we really executed well. Started the second half, and we got that 16-point lead, and we let up, and they did not. They just kept fighting, and got it down to 7 or 8, and then we went on, I think, an 11-0 run. And so, it's been a hell of a 8 days, 4 games in 8 days, 3 on the road. We got here at 3:30 in the morning on Friday, and you're playing at 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So overall, my guys have done a really good job. I'm proud of them. So if you have any questions for Wendell.
Wendell, seems like you guys used your size late in the second half to really take advantage of that and make the increase the lead even more. Talk a little about that.
Oh yeah, one thing was for sure Paulo. Paulo established himself early. When we needed him most, he came through. He really led us out there tonight. He was real strong with everything he did. We ran our version of kind of ISO for him. He just made strong drives every time. He might not score every time, but he made the right play. Then in the first half, he marked for an assist. He got a layup, then he kicked out the AJ for a 3. So just him making plays just makes us a lot better.
The other, and he led us well. I thought his 3 in the second half to put us up double digits was one of the big buckets. He's 4 for 5. And these last 2 games, Wendell's done a heck of a job, and he's been in cold hot tubs from the fall at Clemson. For him to even be playing at this level right now is a hell of a thing for this kid. It's a big time thing for him.
Yeah, I think so. I think he might be in the corner.
You had one in the corner and one right in front of me. The one in front of me was nicer. But he's made big plays for us. He's been our leader.
Wendell, without being the most recent the afternoon game, what do you feel like was playing done right?
My shot preparation was there tonight. I played my hands already. One of my teammates, Josh, I was calling for the ball. Most of all, I just wasn't thinking. I just shot it. I let it go every time I shot. I believed it was going in. And so I think that's really just went well for me. And along with that, the confidence my teammates have in me. So putting those 2 things together, it was a pretty good night for me.
Wendell, coach, played the other night. How are you doing? And can you tell us how you feel about going through all that? That was a scary thought of this box for him.
Yeah. I'm doing well, really. Like you said, a couple bumps and bruises. Being in treatment, around the clock for the past 2 days. Whether it's dirty play, hard play, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not holding any grudges against him. He did what he had to do. He came over and apologized. We left it at that.
Anything else for Wendell? All right, Wendell, appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
Mike,
Yeah.
just your thoughts on playing this building for the last time, and how have you been received at the other ACC venues this season?
Yeah, good. Well, I've been received like I expected to be received at every one. And let me put it that way. No, it's, overall, and people have been really respectful. I don't expect them, but I didn't stay this year to have like a farewell tour. I stayed because I wanted to coach one more year. And when a school takes some time out and says, we recognize that you've been pretty good for the ACC and for basketball, that means a lot. And so it's an honor, and especially the way they've honored with the Emily Krzyzewski Center. Sometimes it's pretty cold in here. Those are some things I remember, and I knew we couldn't get in here to practice because there was a hockey game last night. And so I was glad that it was warm outside, and because sometimes it's pretty cold in here. And today we had a capacity crowd, I think, I have ultimate respect for Boston College. Some of the really great games, once they joined our conference, were with Boston College. The ACC championship game that we had was really, we were fortunate to win. We had J.J. Redick. That's why we won. So I remember a lot of the great players in the great games that have been played here, and in the ACC tournament or at Duke. So I'll remember more after the season's over.
Mike, have you had much interaction with Errol Grant, and what do you think of him?
Yeah, well, the thing that I noticed in watching, and I watched a lot of tape, even, took us an hour to get to the airport from Clemson, and another hour to fly, and another, and then I stayed up a lot. I watched about 4 or 5 games of theirs, and I told my guys, I said, look, they play hard. They come to play, and they're very athletic. They're very athletic, and they keep it simple. And they're going to play you every minute. Every minute, and that's what they did. But I think that guard lineup, that's something I haven't seen. He may have been using it, but I haven't seen it. And that puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And Karnak played great tonight. When he plays well, and he's played well most of the time. Against Virginia Tech here, he owned the game. And pretty much for a while, he was owning this game until our big guys started responding.
You talked about you moved here from Full House, and you've been around a long time, so you know what it's like. But what's it like for kids that it's their first year as a freshman, coming into a place, because they don't draw here, so
Right.
coming into a place that it's so hostile, so loud, so everything.
Well, we had a lot of Duke fans here too, and but our guys love a capacity crowd, whether it's in Cameron or anywhere. They've never, they love that. They are never nervous or scared or ever. When we're not playing well, it's not because of those nervous or scared. It's because the other team is playing better. But they love it. And whether it be in Madison Square Garden against Kentucky or breaking an attendance record against Gonzaga, going to the Smith Center or whatever. I think we're 6-1 in the conference on the road, and so they like it. They like it.
Despite DC going to home, that's not the plan as well.
Yeah.
How did you-
Well, they're more of a paint team, Steve. They'll shoot the three, but they may get 5 or 6 in a ball game, and we had to take care of the paint. And at the start of the game, for like 14, 15 minutes, we were giving up the paint, and so because they were having success there, I don't think they were even looking as much for it. But I think we played good defense on them, but also I don't think that's number 1, 2, or 3 on their list of things to do.
In what
Trevor's
area?
been real efficient.
I'm sorry.
You said that you didn't really want the farewell tour, but it's kind of how it's become.
Well, lately, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how would you kind of digest it, getting all of your flowers and all of the accolades? How would you kind of come to grips with that? Because it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, I'm in the next moment right away. I learned, it's just maybe a stupid analogy, but I said if I was a car, I wouldn't have a rear view mirror. And in order to keep at it and keep hungry, you can't look back. You cannot look back. Negatively or positively, you cannot look back. You have got to keep your eyes on your lane right now. And I've been very good at that. And I learned from not being good at it. When you're coach for 47 years, there's a lot of things that you failed at. And when you fail, failure is a part of learning about a new limit. That's why in schools and that, a lot of parents don't allow their kids to get C's anymore or whatever. You're not going to get better unless you're told the truth. And when you lose and you don't do well, you should tell yourself the truth and then move on. And when you win, move on. Learn from both and get better. And that's what I've tried to do. And I'll do that for the remainder of the year, however it ends. And when it's over, I'll look back. There's no question I'll look back. We got a lot to look with Duke and USA and come on. I've been the luckiest guy. I've been the luckiest guy ever in coaching. 47 years at West Point and Duke, 11 years with USA. You can't get luckier than that. It's been an honor, and I'll look back at it, but not now, and not when they were making an 8-0 run on us, and we've given up a 16-point lead, and but thank you for asking.
Mike, how have your players adjusted to this last year? Have they been able to
Yeah.
to put all that aside and just do
I
what they
think
have to
so.
do?
I think so. They're real young. We have in our top 6 guys, we have 2 18-year-olds and 1 19. We are a really young team. AJ Griffin and Trevor Keels are 18 years old. They're 18 in August. Paulo's 19. Wendell is a young junior, 20. He was one of those 18-year-old freshmen. So they have to, they're learning as we're going along. And it's got to be about them. It's got to be about us. And I think I believe that. I believe that they believe that.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.